slap, as Charles' final response in cutting off Meghan from the royal status after Samantha had confessed to adopt her secret kid. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were made the Duke and the Duchess of Sussex on their wedding day on May 19, 2018. As King Charles III could take the pretty drastic decision to strip Meghan Markle and Prince Harry of their titles, a royal biographer had said, amid the fears that the Duke of Sussex's book will be damaging to the firm. Royal commentator Tom Bower described Harry's memoir, titled Spare, Make or Break. Speaking to The Sun, he had added, "I imagine that King Charles has been warned that any retaliation won't be pretty. All that the King Charles can really do is to withhold the titles for his grandchildren Archie and Lilibet. Ultimately, I suppose he could take away Harry and Meghan's titles as well, but that is pretty drastic, as I don't know what else he can do. If it is as bad as I think it is, then Harry and Meghan have gone fully rogue, as the best the family can do is to break ties with them. And the Duke and the Duchess of Sussex have retained their full titles after stepping down as working royals, but can no longer use their HRH styles in an official capacity. As to strip his son of his dukedom, Charles would need an Act of Parliament. Harry and Meghan's children Lilibet and Archie became eligible for their HRH style and the titles of Princess and Prince, following Charles's ascension to the throne. As the grandchildren of the sovereign, while the palace has not shared whether the monarch wants to give titles to his California-based grandchildren, the royal author Katie Nicole had argued he may wait until the publication of Harry's memoir, to be released on January 10th, before making a decision about Archie and Lily's titles. Meghan Markle, the Duchess's secret daughter, appears, as her sister appeared as secret. Harry is furious, and the mom of her children won't get away with it. Why did the news come out? Let us find out what is happening together. As we know, since 2018, Meghan Markle is the wife of Prince Harry. The couple has two wonderful children, Archie, whom is the firstborn, and Lilibet, the smallest. As some time ago, there were already talks of a hidden daughter of Markle, as the Christmas Ivy Witch had ultimately turned out to be alone and the daughter of her best friend Jessica Mulroney. In short, everything was nothing but one soap bubble burst, and suddenly, making it come back to reality. But it is the scoop emerging now, and promises to be truly scandalous, as Markle would indeed have a secret daughter, entrusted to this, Jo Giuliano, a former companion of the Duchess of Sussex. As the two met at university, and there is even talk of a secret wedding celebrated, but then cancelled, as the American would have gotten pregnant, but he would have given her the child into foster care. As in an image that has been around the world, we see Meghan's ex, Jo Giuliano, holding a mulatto girl in her arms, which looks just like Markle. Where's the truth? As no one has wanted to speak out, for now, on this situation, which is delicate and thorny, except the Duchess's half-sister, Samantha, who takes off the crown and makes some interesting observations. As she'd never got along particularly well with her, so Samantha exposes herself by stating that Meghan has cheated everyone, and especially her husband, who really doesn't know how his wife after 4 years. Still, it says that the American has estranged Harry from his family, and that sooner or later he will pay the consequences. If the prince had decided to take her to court for the secret, he might discover that Meghan would really end up with the water in her throat. In short, the mystery continues to thicken more and more, as meanwhile it is said that Prince Harry is aware of these scoops now, as he's really furious with his wife. Recently, Samantha Markle had once again turned her guns on her half-sister Meghan Markle, claiming that their father had paid for everything amid the criticism over the Duchess's new podcast. In a recently released podcast, the Duchess of Sussex had spoke out of her time at the Immaculate Heart High School, but she did not mention about her father. Samantha Markle, who had recently spoke to GB News host Dan Wooten, had slammed Prince Harry's wife, saying that she had failed to make point out that her father, who had paid for everything, including the school fees, As Samantha added, she did bring up the fact that she went to Immaculate Heart. She continued that the Duchess had discussed that they were empowered at Immaculate Heart by the nuns to be independent women. But wait a minute, who paid for Immaculate Heart? That was all my dad. As in other news, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's rift with King Charles is reportedly growing wider, as it has been claimed. The rift between Charles, Harry, and Meghan is growing, and as the new monarch delays making a call on the titles of Archie and Lilibet, the royal expert Roy Onikia had claimed that the delay in announcing titles for Archie and Lilibet is due to heightening tensions between King Charles and Meghan and Harry. As Nigar said, Harry and Meghan are understood to fear the king that may strip Archie and Lilibet of their titles, after a reluctance immediately to recognize their evaluated status after the Queen's death. Archie and Lilibet are now grandchildren of the monarch, and they had been expected to receive prince and princess titles.